In this video, we're going to talk about the properties of trigonometric graphs for cosecant and secant. For sine, cosine, tangent, and cotangent graphs, refer to Part 1. So for the cosecant, this is what the graph looks like. So let's investigate some of its properties. The domain is going to be all real values except x cannot equal n times pi. So any multiple of pi, there's an asymptote, which means there cannot be an x value. The range is negative infinity to negative 1 included to 1 included to infinity. As you can see, there's no values of y between negative 1 and 1. The period is 2 pi because the graph repeats itself every 2 pi. If you look between 0 and 2 pi, we have one parabola up and one parabola down. And if you look between negative 2 pi and 0, we have one parabola up and one parabola down. So it repeats every 2 pi. The x-intercept is none because we never cross the x-intercept. And the same for the y-intercept because we're never crossing the y-intercept. And as we can see from the graphs, our asymptotes are x equals n times pi because every pi there is an asymptote. Now for our secant graph. The domain is all real numbers except x cannot equal pi over 2 plus n times pi. So there's asymptotes at multiples of pi over 2, so pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, etc. So there's no x values possible. The range is going to be the same as the cosecant graph because there are no values between negative 1 and 1. The period is also 2 pi because between negative pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2, which is 2 pi distance away from each other, we have a graph that goes up and a graph that goes down. And that repeats itself every 2 pi. Again, there are no x-intercepts because we don't have any values in between that negative 1 and 1 for y. But this time there is an x or y-intercept at 0, 1. And the asymptotes are at x equals pi over 2 plus n times pi.